Hey, it's Becky with The Creator in Me, and I'm really happy to reveal a Master Suite update. You're going to be seeing tons of wardrobe changes because this has been months in the making of us collecting supplies and doing projects and decluttering and just making small changes to finish things that have been put off, but things are feeling really fresh in our master suite now, and I'm just taking you along for some of that decision making and affordable updates, because I think that we get caught up in seeing grand spaces and not feeling they're attainable. I don't know, but I have made enough changes to feel pretty happy with where we're at today. So without further ado, let's do this. Are these a little bit of a spoiler? They are. Sorry, not sorry. It's like,
I know, this girl's crazy. I'm just sharing some of the before of the reno. My boys are great tile breakers. We have the raw drywall here where we had taped and mudded seams. The walls are painted, and we had some old damage that we had to rebuild this fixture in place, but otherwise the walls were resurfaced and flooring went in along with our custom cabinetry. When we got our kitchen cabinets done, my husband wanted a counter height vanity as well. We installed this cabinet above the toilet because it was built on accident by the cabinet maker that was supposed to go in this empty area here in the kitchen. But I was really wanting this to be a floating shelf for my coffee bar, so we went ahead and made a last minute decision to go ahead and center this above where the toilet would be. And we went ahead and installed our laminate countertop, and at this point nothing is painted. But I got this wild idea to do this wall technique, and you gotta love Pinterest. And so here I go, just having my hand taping off those stripes and kind of unevenly did these little ticks, and I really didn't like it. But I am the tape queen. I go ahead and just get an idea of what things will look like with tape. And so we kind of just lived with it as is. We didn't have anything functioning in here besides the shower and the toilet, but finally bought sinks, faucets, and mirrors. So it was time to get everything installed. It took months and months, but we're getting the templates in place to mark where the sinks are gonna go, and my husband just gets to work cutting because he is so efficient. And then, yep, I went black. I decided to go black. I really wanted a little pop of color on the wall here, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish off these sinks because caulking them in and sealing everything up is ideal and best for prevention of water damage. So I like to use the back of my nail, as you can see, to kind of get really tight and get all the residue off really tight to the fixtures and make it pretty. So here's my little chaotic bathroom disaster. I have the doors open because we just are assessing for plumbing leaks. Everything is hooked up and attached, and my husband decided on the gold fixtures. I was kind of surprised because I was going to do the mixed metal thing, and he wanted to do gold, so we just went with it. I loved the mirrors, how they kind of come out and have that metal framing, and it's a disaster in here. Super scary. Plumbing lines everywhere, stuff everywhere, but the counter's pretty. And boom. What do you think? Honestly, I'm not sure whether I want to keep this vanity, the dovetail gray from Sherwin-Williams, or paint it white. My white can is sitting there on the floor. I'm ready to do it. But maybe I can have your guys' help to decide whether to keep it this beautiful gray or to go white. When I painted the wall black, it kind of changed that up for me. And I really need to get the finish coat and hardware on these cabinets. So it's time to update the shower curtain and the shower area. This is just a fiberglass shower insert. It's nothing fancy, but it's something we've worked with. And on travels to a cave in the middle of nowhere, it was beautiful. I actually stopped at an old market and landed these beautiful IKEA curtains. I got 2 packages, 4 panels for only like $4 a piece. All IKEA curtains come with pleating tape and good length. So here's a little trick to stick toothpicks to the count of your pleats, and then you put your pleating hooks in. So I'm hanging my rod higher. I'm using the existing tension rod that I had prior, and I'm going ahead and hanging it almost all the way to the ceiling. I'm wanting that floor to ceiling look, and so on the rod I have the pleat rings. So it's a ring that you put on the rod with another little ring that the hook attaches to. You'll get a better look at that here in a second. I did buy a plastic liner that is 8 feet long. So it's not something you could just go to the store and go buy. I got it off of Amazon. It was only like $10. And so that gave us the extra length that we needed to hang that rod so high. So I'm going in here just to kind of get an idea of the spacing and how the two materials between the plastic and the curtain can kind of hang together and look good. So here's what all the hooks and hangers look like. I went ahead and hung the shower curtain on the pleating hook. And I hung it right here where I didn't need any extra hardware or anything, and looped it right into those rings. So I spaced it like every other pleat hook. And having 2 standard window curtains work really well with just this one shower liner. So if you were to skip every other pleat hook and try this for yourself, that spacing should work out. I went ahead and got a no heat, no sew like hem tape, and the adhesive works really well. I'm just connecting those curtains together because I didn't want to pull it open and not be able to drag the whole curtain with me. So this is the fuse tape I bought, and it has a really nice seam, a really good finish. So I've kind of used it a few times throughout the projects here.
We will see if this is too much maintenance. You know, too much to deal with that firm plastic liner and all this fabric. It seems easy to slide, which we don't slide it this way because the head is on the left side. It slides this way, we get in, and then we close it. But honestly, this liner, there's too much of it. I might actually cut it down, which will probably help some. And then I'm going to want it to lay right, because see, it's pushing right there. So I might cut off a few holes, and there's like 8 inches or more of overlap coming on the inside of the shower sides. So definitely upgrade from this. It's about time. All the stuff has been sitting here for ages.
I did end up cutting off that excess liner. So these are how those beautiful pleats look, very sophisticated and fancy, and just they have a beautiful flow. Oh, so much laundry. No. Yes, I invested in a nice laundry basket. You gotta love Ross. I got it for $30. And I'm going to go ahead and pardon me for fiddling with dirty laundry on camera, but I want to see how much fits in here. I'm impressed. I'm just like loading her up, seeing what the capacity is like, because what we have now is not working for us. And I'm really, really proud of this like on the fly purchase. I try not to do those, but it made sense. I push our laundry through about once a week, so I wanted it to hold a decent amount of clothes, at least 2 loads or so. And I bought a second one for it just in case, but I think I can use it elsewhere.
But I kind of like the look of just the one. And I know that often these will probably be sitting open just for our convenience so we could toss it in. But I love the thought of no overflow because that little tote was not enough. So really good investment, really sturdy. I really love this. And overall, my intentions for this area, we moved this glass safe in here. It was in our office, but since our daughter took over the office, that's now her room. We went ahead and pulled it into here. It doesn't seem like it makes sense. It's like got, you know, guns and collectible stuff in it, but it's just the only extra space that I had for it. So our goal is to, in the future, maybe have a tub centered on this light fixture here, and we're not quite there. My husband wants a big tub with jet propulsion and all the things. I just want something that floats. So, and then maybe a floor to ceiling cabinet here to the left side that's only about 2 feet deep, because I want even spacing from the right and left side of the light fixture. But that will look really custom, having a built-in something. So anyway, so far so good. I like the laundry baskets. It's the small things. And I think it's time for me to do some laundry.
Day one of having this basket, and my husband already sat something on top. I digress. I love these rugs. I actually bought these rugs for a client, and they ended up not working for her. There's a lot of rusts and mustards and light blues and creams, but there is a pink in there, and she wasn't into the pink. So I embraced it and thought, I love how it just runs from the toilet in front of the vanity and will eventually even be perfect for the tub. I landed our 2 wall-mounted light fixtures off Amazon for only $16 a piece. In choosing how to hang our hand towels, I knew I didn't want a ring or a bar. I didn't want to tri-fold towels and have the pressure of a perfectly folded towel. I knew my little tendencies would kick in and it would be something that bothered me because we might not take the time to hang them straight. But IKEA sells these little loop towels that I hung from a wood peg on Amazon, and I love how they just hang organically and they have the cute frayed edges on the bottom. I bought 2 sets of the yellow and a set of gray, and it's just something nice to rotate out. I love the pop of color and incorporating more of that yellow. We ended up going and getting a new trash can because our Olive girl, she's a little Augie, getting into the dirties, so I just had to get lidded cans to keep her out of mischief. But I've had this little vintage table for some time that I ended up just setting in this corner just to offset the cabinet above, and it holds toilet paper and our little Salt Rock nightlight and some room spray. I really like having this discreet wipe holder from Ubi, I believe. It's got a nice weighted top. It's a single hand kind of deal. Definitely a must for the bathroom. I just set a portrait above that I got from a yard sale, and I love the floor to ceiling curtain. Really takes advantage of the height of the bath. And onto our barn doors, which yes, you have already seen. And some of our reasoning for these years after moving in is just some privacy, and honestly to block out that weird little angled window you see in the back when you lay in our bed. That thing will just beam you in the face when you wake up in the morning. So seeing these doors shut and having a little bit of, control of that is nice. And I'm absolutely loving the addition of these wood shaker doors.
So husband was off a job and was like, I'm gonna get this hung for you because we've slowly pieced our supplies together. And I was like, do it. Ideally, we would have stained our doors. We would have probably painted the header, stuff like that, if I had things in order. But I was like, just do what you gotta do. I'll paint around it. I'll stain around it. But we got things hung yesterday, if you can see here. And number one, somehow the doors aren't right. So we need to go ahead and pull off the rollers anyways and go ahead and probably adjust holes to get the doors just right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start staining doors right now. That's my objective today. Also, because of our beautiful angled ceiling, we hung the rod too high and we knew this could happen, but our roller hits the roof. So we're gonna lower the rail too. So a little bit of tweaking. It's kind of painful once you have things kind of done and then you have to go back and fix it. But I'm gonna go ahead and set you up, and I'm gonna get doors stained.
I'm going ahead and getting these stained in our provincial stain we've used throughout the house. We love the warm, rich brown tone of this stain. The overall cost breakdown for these, that we found these for $60 a door for a solid wood door, and a track that's a 2-piece track off Amazon. I think it's about 7 to 8 feet long, and so that was around $60. So for under $200, this is just a huge impact and a nice level of privacy that we really needed. I went ahead and painted the barn door header, the wall color, just so it kind of blended in. And we've always had the wardrobe at an angle in this corner to fill it up, but I didn't want it to feel crowded around these new doors, so I pushed that nicely against the wall. And I'm loving the feel of the bath right now. Honestly, for all the shortcomings mobile homes might have, the manufacturers really make up for that in the layout of these things. I love the square footage we have here and everything the bath has to offer. So back over to the bedroom side of the master suite, we had an old closet here that we repaired and took some power to put an extra fixture in. We've resurfaced all the walls. So these are just progression shots of the changes we've made over the last few years. I do love this board and batten technique that I added to this side of the master. I love just the customization there, and I'm going to kind of take the customization a little bit further.
I decided I wanted to take these cute little pegs, and because I didn't want anything that stuck out too far, I'm going to actually install two side by side like this. So I found a center in between my battens, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill these in. Now they're not like heavy duty with like the screw in, so I'm gonna drill a small hole, add some wood glue, and hammer them in.
So we're just getting things measured out here, and I'm just taking my peg and finding a drill bit that matches the end of that peg so it's not too loose and obviously not too tight because I want it to go in. So I have a little helper helping me out, and we're drilling into the batten here where, you know, we're making sure there's a tight fit, and then we're going to get everything glued in. So just a little tap tap, and I went ahead and wiped off any excess wood glue that was coming out of the holes and eliminating any drips. But honestly, these I let cure for about a day, and right after we started hanging stuff on them. Nothing heavy, of course. I do have a bag with greenery pick in it, and every once in a while my husband will hang, you know, a shirt or just something that he'll put back on in the morning, you know, on these pegs, and they're just cute. It adds an extra little something that I'm really appreciating. And I'm going to go ahead and simplify this art above the batten wall. Lately, I've really seen a lot of small type landscape prints in big areas, and I think, oh, is that enough? But I love the simplicity of it. So I found this print at Hobby Lobby half off, so I paid around $11 for it, and I just love the impact because of its simplicity. I wonder if I'm alone, feeling like I'm trying to counteract chaos. I mean, look at this. I had fresh sheets I needed to put on the bed. I swapped out nightstands, and my room was like an explosion. Oh, it was scary for a little bit, but I'm here just making the bed and getting our bed fresh and freshened up. You can see the two new nightstands on either ends of our bed. Those are actually the old desk pieces to the desk that was in our office, and I went ahead and repurposed it because when my daughter took that room, I didn't know what else to do with it, and honestly, I needed the storage they offered and the filing drawers and everything, so I repurposed them as nightstands. They're a little bit deeper than what we had, but I love that they're uniform. I love having them in our space. So here, you're going to just see me moving on to our curtains. IKEA curtains are long, right? We've kind of gone over this. Well, I've had an extra few feet of curtain hanging on my floor for like almost 3 years now, and I literally have tripped myself up going to bed. Honestly, I'm lucky to be alive. So I'm just ironing my panels. I did wash and dry them. So that is something before you're hemming, you want to wash and dry so that when you do any laundering in the future for maintenance, you're not going to be, shrinking your curtains and then they're too short. So I washed and dried, giving them a fresh iron. I'm going to hang them up on the rod, and then I'm actually going to hem and do all of this while they're hanging. That seemed to make sense with me at this point because I just, number one, I'm not sewing them. I'm using my no heat hem tape again. Ta-da! So I went ahead and hung them up, and I'm going ahead and measuring out 2 inches where the curtain hits the floor. So 2 inches, and I'm putting pins in across the bottom of the panel. This will help me just create a nice cut line for me to go ahead and cut off that excess material. Honestly, I'm not striving for perfection here. This is just going to go ahead and get the job done efficiently. So I go ahead and get this excess material cut off, and I'm going to go ahead and do a small fold and iron. I take the panel because I'm wanting this to be on the back side, give it a flip, and then I'm going to do a small fold and iron just to hide that raw edge. And then once that's pressed well, I'm going to go ahead and place my fuse tape and fold it up again. And that'll just create a nice finished hem look that is resistant to some heat. Honestly, if you wash and dry these again, if you did a low heat setting, it works perfectly. So this was just the way I needed to do it to get the job done. No fussing with the sewing machine this time. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. And honestly, just the curtains not having all the extra material, they lay so much nicer and they're not as much of a tripping hazard. Look at that. They hit the floor just right. So it is definitely something I'm glad I finally got done. And another step in taking some of our action and making our room a room darkened kind of room, I went ahead and installed some roller blinds. So I didn't get the pull down. I got the chain pull so that lever wouldn't give out over time, and we just love having that light control. It's gonna be a beautiful thing Saturday mornings. As much as I love the sun just streaming in, I'm just looking forward to this season of our life with kids that are a little bit older, that we can have those quiet, dark, restful mornings. Last summer, I was gifted this desk here. Honestly, my intentions for this area was to do a fireplace with the TV, but this desk is what we needed, especially since we lost the office. And look what I've done to it. I am full of scrapbooking stuff and paperwork. This is where we print our invoices and bids and rental agreements, and it's chaotic right now. I'm going to make it better. That's my goal, is to make it better. But this is the least shown side of our master, and it's functional, and we are able to swivel that TV to watch some shows together here and there. Overall, what I've learned from this is that things take time, and it's worth the wait. I appreciate where we are today, and I look forward to finding that affordable tub and making more changes in the future. But right now, I'm just going to be still and enjoy. And I pray that you can do the same. It's such a joy to share this with you, and I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Bye.